You're listening to the Nobody's Podcast. We're back getting Annie's approval on this week's headlines. We'll also try to decipher how the hell single people are supposed to date in isolation. And I'll be reviewing the movies I've watched in quarantine. Plus, a Florida man makes a moronic proclamation. What a shock. All this and more coming up.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Nobodies.
Hello.
We're back with another Zoom session.
Yeah, this is weird now that it's just the two of us, but I'm kind of here for it.
I mean, I would like it better, I think, if it was just me, but...
Well, then what would you talk about?
Facts. I don't know. I would just chill hard.
Well, it seems like you are. I need to get into my oversized sweatshirt. Is it cold there? Is it cold in Burbank? Because it's hot as hell here. And you look warm. And he's wearing a sweatshirt right now, so no one can see.
Well, I haven't been outside since this morning.
Oh.
And it was chilly this morning.
That's true. That's good. Well,
yeah, I've had a monster of a day. Okay, so you're really trying to fuck with me this early on.
I mean, I'm sorry. I just wanted to I was just curious because I'm hot constantly. And so I just didn't know. You seem to be in a, warm, cuddly mood.
Well, I'm planning on showering after this. So I'll be sure to send you a picture of my post-shower outfit for your approval.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. No, it's all about your approval. Okay. So Annie, let's move into quarantining. How have you been quarantining this week? By the way, it was so fun to talk to your sister last week.
I know. She's the best.
That was so great. And I feel like people loved it. I feel like people were messaging me like, you guys need to have more guests on. And I was like, well, maybe we will now that we figured out Zoom.
Well, and also thanks. Are we not interesting enough?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it does add a different dynamic though. And there's another person to talk. And
also someone who is of
somebody's status.
Yeah, of somebody, because at least it's interesting. We're just we throw it all out there. No one cares because they're like, okay,
right.
We get them.
That's true.
There's no secrets there.
No, and there's real tea when somebody's are on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. God, how am I quarantining? I know. I ordered a cleanse that I'm gonna start tomorrow.
What? Okay, wait. How's Noom going?
So while I was in Texas, I unsubscribed.
You abandoned?
I abandoned ship when the Noom ship when I was in Texas because it was just when you're not in charge of your own food decisions.
Right.
It's that's being dramatic. Of course I'm in charge of my own food decisions, but it's way harder when there's 6 of you eating.
Yeah.
And
at least with your family, I get that way because I'm such a psycho about food, as we know. But when I go on vacation, with my friends, I'll go to a bachelor party or something and I'll try to order a salad. And you might as well have shot a baby.
It's
the worst thing you could possibly do is order a salad.
Well, and we all went so off the rails.
I love that though.
It was crazy. I mean, one day I had ramen for breakfast.
What flavor?
Chicken, obviously.
Okay. Well, at least you didn't pick beef.
No. Okay, I'm not a sociopath. But no, so I ordered this cleanse. I've done this cleanse before. It's 7 days. It's these little packets. And you eat normally and you do everything, but it's just helps cleanse your system. My gluten stuff went out the window because I hate being the difficult one, so I just went with it.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to be difficult in those situations.
Right.
So.
Exactly. And so I'm going to start that tomorrow. But I ordered it while I was there to prep.
You need to get the thing that I've been sending you that activated you, the Morning Complete, because it's greens and.
Do you really like it? Have you noticed a difference?
I do really like it, and I up the ante. I doubled down, not up the ante. That's a new segment that I'm going to come up with. I'm going to figure out what that is, and we're going to call it Up the Ante.
Hate that already.
But yes, I can tell a difference in definitely in my stomach. That's what it's gut health. So it's supposed to clear out your.
See, that's what I need. When you upped the ante, did you almost poop yourself?
No, I didn't like up the ante in that way. It's just
Okay.
like I ordered one just to try it, and I liked it. And it doesn't break your fast either. So if people are intermittent fasting, it's 15 calories per scoop. So you still don't break your fast. I mean, super crazy people, intermittent fasters would say that is breaking your fast, but they say up to 50 calories is fine.
Right.
So um,
And it's just like a scoop in water, right?
yeah, you do one scoop in water. It's 15 calories. It's super greens, probiotics, prebiotics, and like some other vitamins and stuff. I still do take like an oral probiotic.
Okay.
But yeah, so I ordered 3 instead of 1. So I ordered 1, finished it, and then ordered 3 more
Oh
because I
my
like it.
God.
You can see a difference in your stomach, but it's like you do like use the toilet a lot. I mean, and
It
they
keeps
call
you
it
regular.
elimination. They call it elimination. You're eliminating.
Well, that's technically what you're doing.
I know, isn't that weird though? I was like, why do they keep saying elimination? Because the videos that are so funny though when you like look it up, because they're like, "Hi, I'm so and so. Let's talk about poop," and you're like,
Oh,
like, wow.
all right.
They're like, I know it's a taboo subject,
When
but
they talk about like medications, there's
no,
no,
no.
no, no, no.
Oh,
I'm trying to teach.
oh, I thought you said, do they talk about medications? I'm like, I
No, no,
don't know.
no. I'm trying to teach you something.
Okay.
When they talk about
Let me
medication,
open up my ears real quick.
it's
Go ahead.
literally like the metabolism and elimination. There's metabolism, absorption, and elimination.
Okay.
And that's like it either eliminates through your kidneys or your liver.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was just I was like, I've never heard it called that.
Yeah.
Like for all the slang for shit, I've never heard that one.
Elimination was not one you were
No.
excited about.
Okay. Well, I'm court winning, and I don't know if you've done this yet, but I found an infrared sauna place in Burbank, aptly called.
Oh God, I need to text her. Okay, keep going. I have to respond to an urgent text. So I'm going to set my microphone down, but I'm listening to you.
Okay, great. I will keep talking. It's called Burbank Infrared Sauna. And you're basically in. I just needed to find a place because I love the sauna when I go to the gym. It's just a dry sauna. It's not an infrared sauna or anything. I'm not, like a celebrity. But I'm not, but I found this place, like I just Googled it. But I've never done an infrared sauna before. So it's weird. It's weirder and than a regular sauna because I feel like you sweat almost immediately in a regular sauna, and this like takes a while because I think it gets like deep into your pores. It feels like you're being like cooked from the inside out. Not that is what like a regular sauna does anyway, but it does sort of feel like you're in a hot coffin because you're lying down.
That's why infrared saunas are so much more beneficial than regular saunas.
Right. And that's what Jeanette, the owner, was telling me, and why I told her that you would be going there too. But
I'm going to text. Actually, maybe I'll text her right now.
But she's super nice. And she even put me in a couples sauna, which was really nice, but it made me like internalize how
maybe a slap in the face.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I thought the whole half hour that I was in there. I thought, okay, either she thinks like, she's like, you're so fat that you're not going to fit in a regular sauna.
That's not it. You actually look chiseled in your face.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But you're looking at me anyway. But it was really nice. And it made me feel like you like can lay down in it, and they play spa music, and, you go in there completely naked, which is interesting
and uncomfortable for me to think about.
It's super uncomfortable. Like, and you can see yourself. They have like a two-way mirror in the doors. Mm-hmm. So like when the lights are on, you can see yourself lying there naked. So you may want to bring like something to cover your eyes with if you don't want to look at yourself naked, which is,
God, I feel like
there are parts of me that I never knew I thought I'd ever see. And,
Well, and don't need to know that. Second of all, that is probably why, remember how you said that saunas are
a hotbed for masturbation?
Thank you.
Yes,
for saying it.
Exactly.
That's probably why they get that reputation.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously that is, I don't even want to like think about that there, but like the lady did, Jeanette's like, this is your cubby, this is your sauna, so you can do whatever you want. Like no one's gonna, or like not do whatever you want. She didn't say that, but she's like, no one's gonna come in here. You don't have to feel worried. You don't have to like feel insecure that someone's gonna walk in or something.
So so the couple sauna, like T and I could go together.
You could go together, and it's sort of like a bunk bed. I don't know why I'm like people can see us, but it's like two
staggered.
Yeah, it's like a staggered ladder. So someone can lay on the top, and then someone lays on the second level. But it almost feels like a tanning bed. Like the smaller ones, I looked at the individual ones, and they sort of look like a tanning bed, except obviously without all the horrors. So I'm going again on Friday. I'm going again tomorrow.
Okay, I'm texting her right now. This is taking me so long to text because I'm talking to you at the same time. So I'm just saying I would love to schedule a time to come check out the sauna.
Say that you know me. That was a really important detail. She said you have to say that you know Bryce.
I said I got your number from Bryce McClay.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
I've obviously become like a real important person there in a very short amount of time.
You've gone one time. Calm down.
I know. Well, I mean, people like me. She saw me. She liked my face. She knew that I was a good person. I told her that, I have a lot of issues that could be helped by sauna, and her eyes turned into money, like cash registers, like cha-ching, ching.
I'm sure.
She saw a lot of different things that I could provide for her business. So, okay, Annie, let's move on.
Your influencership was probably the biggest.
Yes. Oh, I did tell her you were an influencer. I said, do you have over 20,000 followers? And she was like, she also saw cash in her head. No, I'm just kidding.
But hopefully she saw cash like flying out towards me.
No, she's super nice. And if you guys are in the area, in the LA area, you should really check her out. She's the only one working though, because her staff is at home, because they all have kids, she said. So, but it's really nice to support a local business. But she helps with like cancer treatment. She says she has patients that are cancer patients and people that are like have diseases and other stuff that saunas can really benefit. So it's awesome that she's open. All right. Anyway, Annie, so there have been some crazy freaking headlines this week. And so I thought we'd play another round of Annie's approval. You guys,
this is the only segment that I like.
This is the only segment that Annie likes. And it's basically me just asking if she approves of things that are happening in the world.
Yeah.
And then she gives a little bit of advice if you guys haven't heard it yet. So
we should have just called the podcast Annie's Approval.
I know. I mean, really, in hindsight, we should have. But then it really has nothing to do with me. And what are you going to say to that?
That's the goal.
Don't say that. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that was the goal. Okay. So, Annie, the first headline is there are people, Instagram influencers are flocking to get sunset shots in LA and Santa Monica with like, they put masks on and they have, but they're like quarantine chic. So do you approve of that?
I mean, what do you think?
This isn't called Bryce's approval.
No, I don't approve of that. They are the reason that the quarantine continues to get pushed back. People need to just stay the fuck away from people.
And also, you don't need to put a peace sign up. Like, no one cares that you're peace signing. You're not negotiating, but you're not even like inflicting peace because you're outside. You're running amok. Okay.
Yeah. You're doing more harm than good.
Stay home.
Stay your ass at home.
Okay. Next one is Amy Schumer renames her son after she named him Gene and middle name Attell.
Okay. Do you remember when I sent this to you?
No, I don't remember this.
When the baby was born, I sent this to you because the kid's last name is Fisher.
Yeah.
And I literally sent it to you and I was like, yo, she named her kid Genital Fissure. Because it was Gene Attell Fisher.
That's amazing. I mean, did she really not think about that beforehand?
Apparently not, because he's almost 1.
I know. What did they change it to? I didn't read that part.
Gene David.
Oh, okay. That's much
more appropriate
than biblical. So do you approve?
I approve of the renaming. Yeah.
The name change, yes.
Yeah.
Do you think that was important do you think the kid would have been like pushed down in the schoolyard?
I think that would have been the least of his problems.
Okay. Cardi B did an Instagram live with Bernie Sanders. Do you approve?
Really?
Yes.
Hell yeah. I actually like appreciate Bernie's. I mean, I know at this point he's dropped out of the race and endorsed Joe Biden, which I'm here for. But I appreciate like his willingness to go on a limb and get support wherever he can.
Yeah.
Because Cardi B is incredibly influential around the world, but especially like in certain communities.
Like, oh,
Yeah. Please don't do that again.
I want to see how many followers she has. She has 62.8 million followers. So that's pretty damn good. Okay. Kanye says Kobe Bryant is the basketball version of him. Do you approve?
Not even a little.
And why?
I think Kanye is incredibly talented. It's way too soon to do it.
Agreed.
That is so fucked. When you sent me that headline and it like instantly made like I couldn't even like actually form an opinion about it right away because it pissed me off so bad.
Do you think Kanye just like does stuff for attention? I mean, he really can't be that daft in attention. He does have a little bit of like that Donald Trump, and that's not like necessarily a dig at Donald Trump, but it's like Donald Trump capitalizes on that kind of, maybe it's not negative either. I don't know. They capitalize on the news cycle, and I feel like he does that just to get a rise out of people because it's so easy.
Yeah, there's some weird.
Because the whole like slavery as a choice thing, I mean, that seemed so. I was there at TMZ again.
But he was in the sunken place at that time.
He really was, but I really think it was because he just wanted to. He wanted to rile people up. He couldn't possibly believe that. I mean,
well, no, I don't think he believed that. I don't
think he can possibly believe this either. Well, this is more plausible than that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, is it a decent comparison? Like if all other things aside, like, yeah, they're both some of the greatest to ever do their craft.
Right.
But you don't do that. And didn't he say it on Mamba Day?
Yes.
You don't do that. You don't do that to Vanessa. You don't do that to his daughters. You don't do shit like that.
You don't. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though I know he meant it as a compliment, it was just very like socially deaf.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so Dr. Fauci, who's basically the head of the coronavirus COVID-19 sort of task force, he's been the figurehead.
Yes.
Just for people that don't know, I'm sure everyone knows who he is. He's going to probably be the Time Person of the Year, and it's really going to piss off Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But Dr. Fauci says we can resume sports with empty stadiums and weekly tests. Do you approve? This is going to really hit home for you.
So I actually had a discussion about this.
Okay.
This past week.
And what did you gather?
I don't think the athletes want to do that.
Well, no. I mean, I don't think anybody would. They need. No. I mean, you need people in stadiums.
But the NFL's like, well, anyone. They have TV contracts that they have to fulfill, and so realistically, that's what will be happening. They'll have the games on TV, but no fans will be able to go.
Like not even a small amount.
Mm-mm. No, because you'd have to keep. I mean, you just have to.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that with baseball, honestly. I mean, I get why they would.
They still might.
Oh, they still might?
Yeah, they still might. Everything may just be pushed back and delayed. But you'd have to test the players and the coaches weekly.
Oh my gosh, that is nuts.
And that test is no bueno.
No, it sticks up your nose and goes into your esophagus.
It has to touch your nasopharynx, which is like basically like at the back of like where your nose meets your throat.
Ugh. Wait, so did you approve of this or not?
I mean, personally, no. I think that fucking sucks. But I understand it, and I think it's probably
Well, because because you're a sport. It's like a real rock hard place for you because you're a sports fan and you're in the medical field. So it's really you probably have a internal turmoil.
Well, I mean, I just think that people have to be smart. I mean, I read an article the other day that said there's going to be a second round of COVID next year.
Yeah. Before we get a vaccine, you mean?
Even with the vaccine, because you have to think about it. When they give you a vaccine, it basically gives you a tiny dose of the virus so that your body can build antibodies to it. Think about how many times you have gotten the flu when you've gotten the flu vaccine.
Yeah.
Probably every time.
Every time.
Straight up, I don't get the flu vaccine anymore because the only time I get the flu is when I get the vaccine.
It's so crazy.
So, of course, there's going to be a second round.
Oh, my God. This is never going to end, is it?
I mean, hopefully it will.
Yeah, I hope so too. Okay. Nuns who are making masks in Italy take their time when they're not making masks to play basketball.
Oh, here for that.
Full on basketball.
Full approval.
Annie's full endorsement.
Yeah, you have.
Full approval.
Please actually film it and put it on YouTube.
Oh, they did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Send me the link.
Yeah, I will. They did. They're like, it's in Italy, so they're like, someone's like, they're basically in a church, or like a church narthex.
I love that.
It's awesome. Okay. Firefest frauder Billy McFarland is asking for a quote unquote compassionate release from prison. Do you approve?
What was his sentence?
I don't think it's that long. I don't know exactly what his sentence is. I can look it up, but I feel like it wasn't that long even. But he's
a clown.
He just like does he just want attention or it is because of COVID. It's like he thinks that a lot of people are getting it. So he wants to be released in order to not get it. I'm trying to think if
he thinks he has a better shot of not getting it in the real world than he does in prison.
Yes.
He's a fucking idiot.
He said it's a breeding ground. He says his prison is a breeding ground for the virus.
No, outside is a breeding ground for the virus.
He says as a teenager, he allegedly had asthma, severe allergies, and quote, heart issues since his early 20s. Well, then why would you put on a fire festival and only drink Red Bull vodkas?
Yeah, no, he's a clown.
Idiot. Well, Annie, those are all the headlines I have for you.
There weren't that many approvals this week.
No, there were not. But I mean,
everyone.
Sometimes there are, and so I mean, this is unprecedented times. Some people are doing some dumb crap right now. So, I
totally agree.
Okay, so there's this new app called Quarantine Together that's bringing people together.
I saw that you sent me this. I did not read the article.
That's okay. I'll paraphrase for you.
Okay, perfect.
So after the app first asks you, it first says, "Have you washed your hands?" And then once you say yes,
or
what?
Like ever? Or
I think it's like it's supposed to prompt you to like be clean and wash your hands and shit. So you wash your hands and then you say yes. What?
I was joking.
Oh, well, I don't get sarcasm via Zoom, so
you can see me and hear me. So why?
Okay, so they ask if you wash your hands, and then it gives you, and if you say yes, it gives you new matches. There's also a new podcast coming out called Dating Diaries Quarantine Confessions. So the podcast, which will launch April 22nd, includes stories about Kate, who breaks quarantine protocol to see the guy she's previously started dating because she didn't want to ruin the momentum, and Reno, who refuses to stop seeing women because he fears not having sex more than risk of the virus. Okay, before you talk about them, because I want to get your opinion on those two, I do want to ask you, how would you advise people to date during this?
Oh my God. I mean, I think if you can do Zoom dates and stuff like that, it'd be great. It's kind of like Love is Blind a little bit, but you can
That's what
see each
I was
other.
thinking actually too. It is like
Yeah.
love line. You're hopefully are able to like build up another connection, or like a connection in a non-physical way,
Yeah.
which are all my connections anyway.
For real. I can't even make a joke about that because it's just the truth.
I know I took the words right out of your
You
mouth.
really did. No, but I mean, I think also people can get creative.
Yeah, I mean, but do you think like, so for example, like, do you think that Kate girl who I just mentioned was right in breaking protocol because she didn't want to like lose momentum of the guy that she's talking to? Or do you think people should stay home? Like, if you were Kate's friend, what would you tell her?
I would ask her how long she's been quarantined. I would
Okay.
ask, does she know for a fact that he has not gone anywhere?
Okay.
Like, if you can come down to the fact that like they've done nothing and they've both quarantined for 14 days and had no contact with anyone else and neither of them have symptoms, it's a closed circle if she goes over there.
True.
Um,
So you think that's okay?
as long as they're responsible.
It would be hard. The thing that would be hard would be like to, like if you want to go out and do something, like that's sort of where you get to, I mean, I guess it is a love is blind thing, but it is hard because it's like, that's where you get to really know people, is like if you're doing things and you see how people react in certain situations. Like even if you're going like bowling or on a hike or something, like you can get a better sense of someone's personality, but whatever. I think I would probably do the same thing that you said. I mean, it
Yeah.
depends on it would depend on what would, I don't know. I mean, I think it's hard. Like obviously if he's feeling the same way she is, who like, if they want to see each other, like then she's not wasting the momentum. She's not hurting the momentum, because if they were on the same page, then it wouldn't matter. She wouldn't have to break,
Yeah.
unless he just wanted to, pound it out.
I mean, that's the line where it's kind of like, okay. Like if you, I mean, I don't know. It's so much easier said than done for me though,
Right. Of
because
course.
I live with my significant other.
Right. And
So
we're
I'm
going to
not
get to
in
that.
this predicament.
We're going to get to that in a second. But what do you think about the Reno guy's dilemma, who refuses to stop seeing women because he fears not having sex more than he risks getting the virus?
I mean, he needs therapy. That is like the only, he needs therapy. Like buy a sex toy, bro.
Yeah. Like get a blow up doll and
Yeah,
call.
like they're like do what you got to do, but ew, ew. And also, can you imagine the things that a dude like that is spreading around?
On top of coronavirus,
Right. I
syphilis.
hate that guy.
we'll have to tune into his podcast so that you
Oh,
can really hate him.
yeah.
But do you so like now I want to ask you, because you just like you said, you live with your significant other. So what is your advice for couples who are living together during quarantine? Because I feel like that's a big, there's memes and stuff all the time where it's like, oh, people are like going to line up to get divorced after this because people are.
I have to say, I was a little nervous because he and I are very different. I was a little nervous there'd be a lot of bickering. And there's really not. Like, we're getting along better now than I think maybe we ever have.
That's great. Well, I was going to ask, was there a transitional period? Was there a period of time where you felt like, where you were like, oh God, how are we going to, or was there an adjustment period?
Not really. I mean, I think we had a conversation about the importance of like both of us just bringing positive energy to the space. Especially with me, like working from home, we're not used to that. He works from home all the time on his music.
Yeah.
So for me to
Well,
be
that's what I was going to say. Yeah. You don't work. You're gone all day mostly.
yeah. And like, so I thought there would be a much bigger adjustment period than there was, but we just had a conversation. It was like, okay, We both like, this is a crazy time. It's going to be so easy for both of us to go negative. Let's just stay positive, do what we can. Like, we're going to have our days. Like, there was one day that I was just like not in the mood. And I told him when I woke up, I was like, I'm in a shit mood today. Just a heads up, like, I'm going to keep my distance. And like having enough respect for the other person when they're having a day like that, to just let them be. If they want to lay in bed and watch TV to make them feel better, like, let them do it.
Absolutely.
He's really good about like getting outside for walks and things like that when he's in a bad mood. So, or not even a bad mood, but just like the
You want
quarantine.
to get away. I mean, everybody needs to get out of the house. Like there's
Right.
no chance that some, even our moms, the optimist bullies themselves, couldn't possibly be just like thrilled constantly.
Right. Well, and I
in the
think too,
situation.
like, I call it the quarantine mood because we've all had those days where it's just like, oh my God, like, this is never going to end and this is life now and this sucks.
I love that quarantine mood. You never told me that.
Oh, really?
I love that. I'm
Oh.
rubbing off on you. You're putting names to things now.
Well, but that's the only way to explain it because it's not like happy. You're obviously not happy, but you're not like sad. It's not quite like
Yeah, you're not
depression.
pissed either.
No, you're just like, God, I'm in the quarantine mood today.
You're just blah. It's just
Yeah.
very blah.
Blah is the perfect way.
Blah word. Well, I was going to ask too. So you guys have been together for 8 years.
Mhm.
Would it have been, I mean, maybe just either speaking from your own experience or like hypothesizing here, but would it be harder if you hadn't lived together or been with each other for so long? Would this be harder to do? Like, say people who just moved into with each other and they've been dating a year. Like, is this going to be like a relationship test for sure? Or
I mean, it totally depends on the couple. Like, I think back over the 8 years, like, there were certainly times in the 8 years where doing something like this would have killed us. I mean, or we would have killed each other. But, I mean, I don't know. What?
It's true. It really just depends on the couple and the
100%. Like, some people it's going to make really strong, and some people they're going to find out things about their significant other that they wouldn't have otherwise. And it's like, okay, I got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it might be an eye opener. I think
For
it's
sure.
funny, but just like living alone, like I've told you this before, maybe I've even said on this podcast, but like I can't, I mean, as much as it is like annoying, I guess is like the wrong word, like irritating to live alone sometimes because you're like constantly just with yourself and you're like, God, how can anyone, you can't even stand yourself. How can anyone else? But, I like my roommate, I lived with a friend of mine before I moved into my own apartment, and we're still friends. I really like, he's one of my really good friends, but I would have killed him in this.
Right.
Like I am so happy that I am not living with anyone right now either.
Why do you think I keep telling you that you can't come stay here?
I know. No, seriously. I get it. I totally get it.
I'm joking, obviously,
No, you're
but
not. You should, and you shouldn't. But
there is, living with someone is a whole other level.
Completely. And just
Yeah.
like, it's just people and this can just drive people insane too, because you're like constantly watching the news. It's just like rigmarole of crap all the time.
Yeah.
And whatever, but it's very interesting. How do you guys find like alone time? Like, are you just sort of like and or together time?
Well, we're together all the time.
So you don't carve out any time. You're not like, okay, let's like make dinner together. Like, let's watch this show together. Like you're not, or it just happens organically.
It just happens organic. I mean, we've been together so long that we kind of just like adapt.
Yeah.
In that way.
How do you get it? Like, how do you get your alone time, or what do you do when you want to be alone?
We both leave and like go for a walk.
Okay.
Or like he'll go upstairs and work on music and like has his headphones on. I'll put on a TV show that he doesn't like. Like the Real
Don't come in here because this show's on.
Yeah, like he'll just walk in and see the Real Housewives and like go do his own thing. So like, but we've gotten good about like eating at meals at dinner especially. We're like cooking all the time, and
it's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, seriously, that makes it like, it probably feels so nice. And like, cause that doesn't probably happen a lot when you're both working all the time or.
Right. No, it doesn't.
No.
No, that's why I say like in certain ways, like it's been really great.
It's so funny.
I know. So weird.
So it is positive. There are positives in this.
But we've also chosen to like make sure that that's the experience.
Right. Well, of course. Of course. Wow. Well, that was eye-opening.
Well, I try to bring the wisdom.
I feel like you would though. Like you would know more than like a lot of people would about, surviving, keeping your relationship alive. And
well, I don't know how people are doing it with kids.
I don't either. I feel so bad for the people with kids.
Same.
Like it's just got to be a train wreck.
Like all of a sudden you're doing like 3 or 4 full-time jobs all at once.
And you're having to do like make flashcards and like teach them things. I mean, can you imagine teaching math?
No. Well, the way they do it now is weird.
Why? What do you mean?
They have like new techniques for math. Like it's less about if you get the right answer and more about like how many steps did you get right.
I hate that.
I hate it.
Why does everything have to be critical thinking? Like it doesn't.
Because everyone deserves a gold medal, apparently.
Yeah, everyone has participation trophies.
Right, exactly. Like 2 + 2 is 4. It's never going to be 5. It's never going to be 3. It is what it is. I don't care if you got one step of it right.
Yeah. Or wrong. All right. So
I care if you get it wrong. That I care about because that's the issue here.
True. Okay. All right. I get you. All right. So a lot of people have been probably you too. A lot of people have been asking me, I mean, obviously I'm such a thespian. Okay, wait, that's wrong. Film buff.
Isn't it a thespian?
Did I say thespian?
Yeah.
God, I can't talk. A thespian, but I am also a film.
You did it again.
You say it.
Thespian.
Thespian.
Yeah. You said a thespian.
I just want to say it like lesbian.
Yeah.
Lesbian.
I got that.
Okay, but people keep asking me about movies that they keep asking me like, what movies should I watch? What movies would you recommend? Blah, blah, blah. So instead of actually going through a list, because we've sort of done that, we talked about TV shows that we wanted to watch. And I have adapted a very lucrative thing that I do every night. And I may take something while I do it, but I watch a movie. I call it movie of the evening, and it's right around about 9:00. I'll pick, it takes some time to pick my movie, but I'm just going to tell you guys about the movies that I have been watching, and then you can and I'm going to give you my thoughts on them. And Annie, if you've seen the movie, please let me know. And we can discuss it. But I don't want to recommend anything to anybody because that's gone really poorly in my past. So I'm just going to tell you what I thought of it, and then you can decide if you want to.
Your recommendations have gone poorly in the past?
Yeah, people are like, oh, why would you thought this was good? That was terrible. I hated that, Bob. I was like, well,
the
my
production
apologies.
quality on it was great.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was nominated for an Oscar. Like, no one cares about that. Okay, so the movies that I watched this week, which there are a lot, I watched some of them. By the way, some of them I have seen, and some of them I haven't, but I'll differentiate. And I'll tell you where to watch these too. Okay, so I watched Mortal Kombat.
It's so funny you say that because T turned that on this week.
Really?
And, yes, and I quote, I came in like in the middle of it, and I quote, "What the fuck is this?" That's what I said to him. And he was like, "Are you kidding? It's Mortal Kombat. It's a classic."
It was made in 1995. It was like right when T and I were like right in the we probably were just figuring out like movies and stuff because that was, well, he's like, so much more mature than I am. So
well, he has older brothers too.
True. But like so that's on Netflix. Mortal Kombat's on Netflix. I have seen that, but I didn't like remember the movie at all. It was, it's probably hasn't aged the best, but it's still pretty fun. Still a fun movie. So that's
I have never seen it, and I will never watch it.
There was a lot of obviously, you know that I would like this. I look up all the movies like on Wikipedia and read all the production notes and everything else. So there was a lot of there was a sequel that was made like 2 years later, and the two of like the main characters, the main members of the cast, didn't come back because they said the script was so bad for the second movie. I was like, how can you screw that up so badly? That you
Oh
have two
my
people
God.
who were no name people. It wasn't like they were famous people. It's just
I mean,
hilarious.
that
Okay,
should just say enough of what we all
right,
need to know.
right. Okay, so then I also watched Onward, which is on Disney Plus. It's a cartoon.
I have been wanting to watch that.
Okay, it's very enjoyable. It did make me cry.
That's not surprising.
No, it's not at all surprising. It's so funny that because I literally wrote in my note, it made me cry. That's not at all. It's not.
Really?
I said not surprising.
Oh my God,
But it made me go as sad as like it's not sad. It wasn't sad at all. But it was happy. It was a happy
like
cry.
heartwarming.
Yeah, it was heartwarming, but it made me think of, because it's about two brothers, two elves, and it made me think of my nephew who's one and his brother who's coming, who hasn't been born yet, but he's probably coming like this week. And I thought, oh, that's gonna be like them, even though I have two brothers, but I didn't think about that. It's a movie about
Oh,
brothers.
that's cute. I'll watch
So
that and get back.
that was good. That was good. It was enjoyable, and it's Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and
Oh, cute.
Louis-Dreyfus is the mom. I'm
Love
really good. That's one thing I'm really good at. We'll have to watch a cartoon together, and don't tell me who any of the voices are. I can tell you who the voices are.
that. Okay, I'm pretty good at that too.
Oh my God, we need to go see a movie and
Yeah.
like, watch it and see.
Okay.
Okay, I watched Molly's Game, which is on Netflix. Excellent.
Excellent. A+. If you have not seen it, you have to go watch it.
Excellent film. Jessica Chastain is a babe, especially in those dresses. But
Okay,
also,
relax.
she can ski. She's a skier.
If that's the only thing that you pulled from that movie, we have such a problem.
No, it's really good. It's about poker. I mean, it really is.
It's so good.
It's so well written. Aaron Sorkin is obviously a great writer, but it's so well written. It's
based on a true story.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah,
Everyone,
so
that
good.
would be like that would be like my top recommendation out of all these movies that I watched in the last week. Okay, the next movie I watched, which I had never seen, which was Bird Box, which is also on Netflix.
You've never seen that?
No, I'd never seen that before. I started watching it when it first came out, and I couldn't get past like the first 5 minutes when she gets him into the rowboat, when she gets the kids in the rowboat. But Sandy Bullock is great. I was just hoping a little bit more speed and less Speed 2 cruise control. Like I wanted there to be more action. It felt like it was not very. I thought going into it, I thought there was going to be a lot more action than there was.
Uh-huh.
And they're basically on the river
I
the
get
whole
that.
time.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
It was fine. I watched it when it first came out.
It was entertaining. Like I think it's an entertaining movie if you've never seen it. Like I was entertained and I was like, oh wow, this is pretty good.
It definitely like keeps you guessing.
Yes.
Because you think you know what's going to happen and then like kind of something different happens.
Yeah.
But I will say the ending of it, I was just kind of like, what?
Well, and also the beginning of it, like what they never explain, and maybe that was the point, but they never explain how this happened,
Right?
Or why it happened. I mean, it did feel like I was living in Bird Box because they were all shut inside and couldn't even go to the grocery store, but it was just weird how like none of that was ever explained. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lethal Weapon, which is also on Netflix, which is a classic and great. It's classic.
Never seen it.
Okay, it's good. You should watch it. It's like a buddy cop, 80s staple. However, there is a really very inappropriate storyline involving Mel Gibson and Danny Glover's high school daughter that was just completely glossed over. Like she had like a crush on Mel Gibson, but it was like inappropriate in the sense that she was too old. It wasn't like if she were like a little girl and she's like, oh, he's so,
Oh, like
it was like he could have, I mean, in a couple years, like could date her, and it's like,
how old is she in it?
he's like 17 or 16 or 17 in the movie.
Oh yeah, it's like that. But how old is he?
Like 35. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, no, that's inappropriate either. No matter how you want to spin
inappropriate.
it.
It's inappropriate. And he's your partner, so keep it in your pants.
Yeah,
Okay.
weird.
I watched Richard Jewell, which I purchased on demand. Have you ever seen that? Do you even know what it's about?
No.
Excellent. It's an excellent film, and
What
that's the
is
way
it
you should.
called?
Called
Richard?
Richard Jewell. Richard, it's a name. Richard Jewell.
Okay.
But I knew nothing about the story, and my family purchased it on demand and was like, my mom wants to get every last dime out of a rental, a
Love
$3.99
that.
rental. So we all had to watch it. So everybody in my family watched it, and basically, it was the best way to do it. I don't even want to say anything more because if you do, you should go watch it. And if you
Okay.
did not know anything about it, because I didn't, and I was like, wow, that was a great way to tell that story. But other people who
It's
know,
like what on demand?
it's like you'd have to buy it or you have to rent it on Amazon.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Like $5.99 or whatever, but it's good. That's the only one out of this movie that's purchased, and I had never
Okay.
seen that.
Richard Jewell. You're gonna have to text that to me.
Okay, I will. Moulin Rouge, I did not watch. That's on HBO. I had to turn it off. Felt like I was having a bad acid trip. Nicole Kidman coughed up blood, and I just had to turn it off.
Yeah.
I feel like
I've
that
seen
movie. I feel like that movie was probably really good when it first came out, because it was like visually very like stunning and colorful and everything else and whimsical, but it just has not aged well. I was like, I feel like I'm getting sick. Like I'm gonna throw.
Ooh. I've seen it one time and I didn't even enjoy it then.
Yeah, no, don't watch it. But
No.
everyone raves about that movie. Everyone, like, that's why I wanted to watch it, because I'd never seen it, and everyone was like,
Well,
"Oh,
the
it's
cast
so."
is outstanding.
Well, it is, but why did they make such a pooper?
I mean, I'm not in production,
A
so don't
dumper,
know.
real dumper. Okay, sorry to anyone who loves Moulin Rouge, Chandler Bing. So I turned that off and I turned on Limitless with Bradley Cooper, because like hair goals. And honestly, I'm going to send you a picture of me and him, and like my hair's actually
I don't
looking like,
need you to send me a picture.
I think I should send a side-by-side photo.
I did the original side by side of you guys.
I know you did, but this one is like more important because it's the one that I'm going to send.
Nothing you do is more important than what I do.
Okay, but I have seen Limitless, but I don't remember it all. I don't know what happens in my brain. That movie's not even that old, and I've seen it, but I don't remember anything. I'm a little bit worried about my memory.
Okay, wait. I have seen that probably 3 or 4 times. I could not tell you the plot.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just the plot of the movie is so like, it's about the drug. It's the drug where he takes the drug and he can like see colors or whatever.
But like
Adderall. It's like Adderall meets speed.
well, Adderall is speed.
Okay, it's like highly concentrated. It's like
No. I mean, I've seen it. I just like again couldn't tell you what happens in it.
They also made a TV show about it, which is hilarious.
Oh God.
I don't know how you could sustain that for a whole TV show, but I
No.
digress. Also, Bradley Cooper acts like he has trouble betting women in this film, which is so unrealistic that it took me out of the movie.
Okay, that you just need to relax, because you claim to look like Bradley Cooper, but you have trouble betting women. So
I know. That's why I'm shocked to my core as well about it.
It's not that unrealistic.
Okay. So then finally yesterday, the last movie I'll get to is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which is on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
And I live tweeted this.
And you lost 3 followers.
I lost 3 followers. But I do want to, I want to tell you, I'm going to read it. If you need to go up and get a glass of water or something, Annie, I'm going to read a couple of my tweets to get people in the mood. And then I'm going to, plug my own Twitter account.
Okay.
So here are a couple of the gems that I wrote. Since I've never been in a long-term relationship, I've missed a lot of rom-com films from yesteryear. In quarantine, I thought I'd catch up. Today, I'm going to live tweet while I watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days for the first time. Obviously, that's pretty, standard. So the next tweet was, their character names are Andy Anderson and Benjamin Barry. Both sets of parents must have been lexiconographers. Talk about meant to be. Another one was, I feel like we're all the sad friend who is crying in her apartment because we're all stuck in quarantine. I really relate to her right now. And those are just a few. So head over to @BryceAdvice to see how it all pans out. What did you think about those, Annie?
I think that you've lost it. No, I actually think they were pretty good.
Thank you. There's a few that I didn't say because I wanted to like drive people to my Twitter, and then maybe I can regain those followers that I lost.
Fair.
So
You know what we should do is we should pick a weekly movie and both of us watch it at the same time and live tweet it.
yes, that'd be perfect. And you can do that on, I think you can do that on House Party, that app. You can like actually watch Netflix together and you like push it at the same time and it goes so that you don't, and you can like pause it and everything.
Oh.
That we should try that.
Yeah, we should.
Okay. Our closing statement this week is Florida Man, a favorite of ours, because this Florida man just happened to be the governor of Florida. And he said, his name is Governor DeSantis, and it says, the headline reads, Florida Governor DeSantis declares the World Wrestling Entertainment Organization an essential service. So he said during a news conference, this would allow the World Wrestling Entertainment to continue to broadcast live shows from a facility near Orlando, despite the state's stay-at-home order. His answer was, the reason why he did this is because he said, obviously, WWE, there's no crowd of anything. It's a very small amount of people. What about the wrestlers that are touching each other in the ring?
Well, and also they like sell out arenas.
Exactly. Like, okay, so he said, I think people are chomping at the bit. I mean, if you think about it, we've never had a period like this in modern American history where you've had such little new content, particularly in the sporting realm. I mean, we're watching like reruns from early 2000s, watching Tom Brady do the Super Bowl then, which is neat because he's going to be in Tampa, and I think they have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. But I think people, to be able to have some light at the end of the tunnel, see that things may get back on a better course. I think from just a psychological perspective, I think this is a good thing.
Isn't this the same governor that we thought had, or that tested positive for coronavirus?
No, that was the mayor of Miami.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
Well, maybe.
The one that like shook hands with Trump?
No, I don't think that's him. Maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I don't think that's him.
Okay. You
Let
should
me
fact
see.
check that.
Yeah, fact check.
I mean, this guy needs help. He needs therapy too. Like the idea that I can't go get my nails done, but people can go to a WWE thing is like, wait, what?
Like there's sweat. There, like no one can go to a gym, but everyone can go to.
People are doing therapy on Zoom.
Yes.
Like that is an essential business. Doctors are essential businesses. Grocery stores are essential businesses. A WWE wrestling match is not an essential anything. In fact, the world could do without it completely. I mean, the only other state that would say something this stupid would be like Indiana. Because I feel like their WWE fandom is gigantic in Indiana.
Really? Indiana?
Yeah, I'm basing that solely off of Dylan Rupp.
DJ Rupp. Rupp.
That's absurd.
That is, I mean, like it just doesn't make any sense how this would even be qualified, how this would qualify as an essential business. By the way, who is greenlighting what essential businesses mean?
Well, let's hope it's not governors.
I think it might be.
I mean, it is.
He says we have to get sports back, which is true, but like we can't just like force anything. Everyone wants to go out. Everyone wants to go to a restaurant. Like people can't go to restaurants and sit down, but they're going to go to a WWE. Well, he's saying that he's not saying that they would have the events. He's saying that like just people would wrestle in the ring. But like, how is that even plausible?
Okay, well, you can do that when other sports come back.
Yes.
No, this is dumb. Do you think if they actually held a match where they allowed fans to come, do you think they would sell concessions?
Yeah. Don't you have to?
People can't go to a restaurant and eat. Can you go to a stadium and eat?
Thinker.
Get at me, Governor. What's his name? DeSantis. Get a better name.
Yeah, like praying mantis.
Yeah.
Which is what I look like right now. But yeah, I agree. Awful. Get a life.
But also not shocking coming out of Florida.
I know. I mean, like, get a grip, people. Like,
seriously.
Go back to fighting alligators. That's way more, or like doing crystal meth and trying to break into a building.
Or pooping in classrooms.
Defecating in school gardens.
Oh my God.
Well, that's all she wrote.
All right. Well, guys, make sure you are following us on Instagram at Nobody's Pod, at Bryce Advice, at Annie_Wilk. And now make sure you're following us on Twitter also, because we're going to live tweet some movies at Nobody's the Pod, at Bryce Advice, and at Annie_Wilk. You can also email us at noexpertallopinion@gmail.com. We do still have koozies available, but again, we're not sending those out until everything's all. I haven't touched them since all of this started, and so I'm hoping, like, I just want to keep them clean and sanitized. And so we'll send those out once all of this is said and done.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We hope you have an amazing weekend.
And more importantly, a safe and healthy week. Thanks, guys.